So I'll do that here. I've got their address, which is available on their website, their phone number, which is available on their website, and obviously I've got the website open, so I know what the website URL is. And then I've marked to display phone, to display website, and to display the address. And there's also the location button here as well, because what this will do is if the user has Google Maps on their phone, it will open the mapping system and show them directions to the premises for what, the address that you've actually supplied in here. Now, the only other thing to note is that there is a latitude and longitude option on here. Now, again, I've just gone into Google, I've put the postcode in, and I've asked for the latitude and longitude. So it's really simple to do. Like I say, just go into Google and put the postcode and then latitude, longitude, and the result that pops up will give you the exact latitude and longitude that you need to populate these fields with. And again, this is helpful for when it comes to using the mapping feature, that it gets the user to the right location for where the business is located in terms of where they're going to get directions to. Now, the final section on this page here is the directions. So here I have directions by road, directions by train, and directions by bus. And this text box here has been populated entirely from the customer's own website. So if I go back to their website, go to contact, and here in the middle we have their directions. So again, this is text provided by their own site. It's not something that I've had to populate. It's been very easy just to highlight this, right click and copy, and then go into the application and paste it into the text field. Really, really easy to do, and that information, because they have a website, is already populated and provided for me just to be able to use inside my app. Okay, so I've just literally pasted that in there, and then I've gone to update and preview after I've saved. Okay, so that's pulled the changes through. Let me just hit save one more time. And there we can see now that it says the 3 cliffs on here, the text has been bolded, and then we've got our directions at the bottom. So that's a simple location-based page using the custom page builder. So let's go back to the features. And now we can have a look at the membership card. So if I go into the membership card option here, now I've added one in called a free slice of cake, which requires 20 stamps. But if we're going to start a new one, let's go to add cards. And we could call this free coffee and cake. And let's say that we need a total, for this one we're going to use 8 points, and 1 point is worth, let's say, £2.50. So that means that they spend £20 and then they get a free coffee and cake slice. Let's just make sure that that's available. Then we can choose whether or not this is used only once, or if we leave it open, people can accrue this multiple times and get the reward multiple times, depending on how many times, obviously, they complete the stamps on this particular membership card. So just to cover these again briefly, the number of points. This is the number of points required in order to obtain on this particular card. And then we have what 1 point is actually worth in terms of value. So if we hover over this little question mark here, it's like a tooltip. It says, please insert estimate worth of 1 point. This amount will be used in the reporting to estimate sales. So for $10.50, please type 10.50. Okay. So in this case, 1 point for me is going to be worth £2.50, which is going to make it a total of £20 to spend in order to complete this particular card. Then we can apply our own terms and conditions. So if there are specifics that you need to cover, then you can put your own customized terms and conditions for this card in this section. Once you've got those, you can hit save. And now we have our new card with 8 stamps, which means that every time £2.50 is spent, one of these stamps can be marked off as completed, and obviously at the end then we can offer a reward for the completion of this particular card. Okay, so if I go to design here at the bottom, we can see that we do have some design options. Now by default it will sort of set to this circular one. We can change it to a square image if we wanted to, or we can change it to a sort of a rotating dial depending on the number of points. So this will fill up, obviously, depending on the number of points that they get, and once they get to full, again, it means that they've completed it. And again, this depends entirely on the type of application you want to build in terms of its look and design. So here I'm going to just choose the square cards option and hit update and preview. And then I'm going to go into the rewards section. So here's where you apply the number of sort of interim rewards on your card. So let's go to rewards here. We can add a reward. So here is where we can put in the reward name. So let's say we want to offer a free coffee at some point during the completion of the stamping of their card. So here's the number of points to redeem the reward. So here I can add in, let's say they need 10 points to get the reward. We're going to leave this open for a year, so I'm going to put in 365 days. And then in the description, we're going to put get 10 points, get a free coffee on us. Now here's where we can add some inactive rewards and active rewards. So all this is an icon. So where this icon is placed, you will see it appear in the correct section on the card, and if it's been activated, then it will already be colored in using a different sort of image. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to a stock image site, going to grab a couple of stock images that we can use. I'll upload those and I'll show you how that looks. Okay, so I'm on the stock site now, which is called freepick.com, and I'm picking a colored coffee image here. So I'm going to choose to download this, and I'm going to download this. Let me just double check the size. So it's 256 by 256 is what we need. So let's go back there. So download, I'm already on that page. Let's go to PNG. Let's download at 256 and free download. So you can see with this one that I need to accredit the author. So I will do that on a page in one of the policy pages. We've got the coffee cup there. So that's the colored one. Now there was also one here that didn't have the color in it. So let's go and grab that one. So we'll go back to that link. And for this one as well, we want to download that to 256. And I'm going to download that one as well. So both of these images are now downloaded to my system. So I'm just going to open a folder and make sure that those images are inside my 3 Cliffs folder. Now I do recommend, just for organization, that anything to do with a single app, you do try to keep everything in one folder. So if you ever need to go back to anything, then you can simply go to that folder and know that your downloaded images are going to show there. So if I bring this folder in, you can see I've got my coffee cups in this folder, which is called 3 Cliffs. I've got all the other images to go along with it, a couple of images of cake, and then we've got some images here that they supplied themselves on their website to do with the restaurant side of things. So I'll bring that back out of the way. Now if I close these icon pages down, go back into my application. So an inactive reward is going to be the colorless image. So let's go there. Let's go into my 3 Cliffs folder, grab my coffee cup and click OK and OK. And then the active reward, we're going to choose the one with coffee in it. And again, click on OK. And then I'm going to click on Save. So when the person gets to this level on the card, it's going to mean that they are able to qualify for a free coffee. Okay, so when they get to that 10 points mark, which is this one, once they get the stamps in place, they're then able to claim that free coffee. Now, the next thing to look at with this particular card is going to be the validation of the card. So this is where you're going to be able to add employees into the actual app itself, so that a particular person or a particular number of members of staff can actually validate the membership cards. So to do that, if we go to the plus symbol here, we can see that we have a member of staff here called Sarah, and Sarah is already an employee. She has her own QR code here. We've also set a PIN code for her, and if she's no longer a member of staff, we can click the X to remove Sarah from our employees who are able to stamp a membership card. So let's say we've now added John to our team, and then we're going to set a PIN code for John, and we can click on OK. So now we have 2 members of staff who are able to process the stamps on membership cards through scanning using the QR code, or to put their 4-digit PIN code in when they're actually clicking on the stamp button here. So as we're not signed in at the moment, I can't show you this, but like I say, when the person has the application open, they're able to scan the QR code, and it will automatically add the points to the person who's signed into the application. So they will be able to have their points added because John or Sarah has scanned their QR code. Alternatively, a PIN code can be put in if the stamp button is manually clicked. It will ask them to populate it with their 4-digit PIN, which the user can just put in, and then that will assign the points to that. Now you can use a single PIN for a store, but what you do have here as well is when you have a membership card and you apply staff to it, you can actually see who is assigning the points to the users of the app. Now this will help protect your business from things like people fraudulently giving away points to family or to friends, saying I'll add an extra couple of points on or something for you. Then this is the way to stop that. Now like I said, there is an option for this membership card which is under the plugins option. You'll see an option for loyalty analytics. So if I do open that in a new tab, what we can see here is the feature analytics. So we can see the customer data, and here we have the loyalty control. So this gives you who is adding the points, and you can see how many points have been validated per employee, and then we can see how many validated points for the actual the cards with inside, which is the free coffee and the cake slice, or the free slice of cake. So you can see that the cards are there, and you can see how many points were validated and the number of rewards that have been used for each of those. So this is great insights for the business to see, just how many free cake slices they've given away, how many free coffees they've given away as a result of having a loyalty card for their particular business. And also when you link it to the sales volume as well, knowing how many points are required in order to have a stamp stamped on your membership card. Obviously that will calculate the volume of earnings and revenue from the people who are using the membership card as well that it's linked to. So great insights again, and you can see how effective the card can be for that particular business just in this section here. So if I close that down and go back to the application, so that's pretty much it for the membership card. The only other options you have then is to link it into m-commerce. So if you had a store, for instance, and you wanted to allow points to be accrued for purchases, you can link that to your m-commerce feature inside your application. You can just add the commerce feature, and then again, like I say, you can validate that with purchases made here. Okay, but as this isn't in this particular application, we're not going to cover this here, but we'll just come back to that in another tutorial when we're actually covering a membership card for an online store in your app. So let's go back to features. Now, what I could have done is had a look on their website, which I did, but I didn't explain that in this part of the video, is that I could go onto their website and see if they did actually have a loyalty card where you could sign up for, and then you could be emailed your copy of the card and wait for one to come in the post. But they didn't actually have anything on their site to do with loyalty cards, so therefore I wasn't able to use their existing data. But maybe this may be a business model or addition to their business model which they may not be aware of, or they may not have adopted. But now you have the ability to implement something which they could have thought about before but didn't know how to do it, and now you've got a simple solution for that business as another way of increasing the value of the application to them as a business. So if I go back to the app features again, now the next one I've got here is a food gallery, and for this I've just used the image gallery under the media tab. So I've used this images one. Now if you were populating a menu rather than just images, then you do have an option under monetization for set meal. Now set meal is used to create menus, so you can actually set pricing in there as well. So if I do have a look at this set meal one with you, like I said, I don't have this added, it's just the image gallery. So what we've got here is the ability to add content to this. So click the add content button, and here we could have let's actually put that in. So let's put in carrot cake, and the price is going to be $3.95. Here we could give a description.